Welcome
Welcome
to Shade and
to
the City.
Shade in the City.
I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are doing our review. I'm sorry, something got in my eye when I decided to start recording. But we are doing our review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 11. Don't know the name, and it was a little too long for me. But
I
yeah,
don't know the name.
yeah, but we appreciate y'all being here and joining us, new viewers and our Shade Squad. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it and let's get shady. So Sonya goes to talk with Drew and try to, console her. Drew says that, basically this lawsuit is, a thorn in her side and she's never been sued. So this is, taking a toll on her and her family. And Kenya and Sheree come out to check on her as well.
She
Now,
was
Drew
given
feels
it really wasn't the lawsuit.
right. It really wasn't.
She was given it was something else. I wish she would have just said it so her girls could have really been there for her like they needed to be and like she needed for them to be.
Right. So Drew feels like, a lawsuit is nothing to play with and it's not a joke. And Sheree is, confused because she was like, I never said it was, but Drew, she was like, and Drew was like, go away, just go away.
I
And
love how Kenya was like, how many of us is it here? 8?
and I'm gonna be honest,
Girl, let's split this up 8 ways.
I think I said this last review, it was giving just very overly dramatic. And I'm shout out to Candy for, calling it out. So Sheree asked Kenya and Sonya to leave. So her and Drew can talk one-on-one. And Drew basically starts to say, get this bitch away from me. But then she catches herself and Sheree's like, what was you gonna say? Sheree turned into a whole mama on her.
First of all, I ain't never seen Sheree get down. But let me tell you something. From the moment she was on Who Gonna Check Me, Boo?
Right.
And I know she stay in the gym. And I don't mean like your type of gym, Drew. I mean like she really stay in the gym. Like, I think you better watch it.
Yeah. So then Sheree brings up how, Drew has brought up several things that she's heard on the internet about her and thinks she's being dramatic and thinks she shouldn't dish it if she can't take it. I was like, Sheree has points. Sheree has valid points.
But
Now,
that's really what made me feel like it really wasn't that. Because she already said she was thinking, what the hell is he doing in Vegas? Her mind is somewhere else.
right. So the remaining girls are at the table and Candy gets up and they're like, oh, are you going to check on Drew? And she's like, no, I'm going to the bathroom. She's like, I'm not participating in this foolery.
I
So
thought that was hilarious.
I did think that was hilarious. So and then Candy even says in her confessional, I've seen Drew in worse arguments and she's held it together better than this. So I don't know why this is so like detrimental. So Drew says that apparently she went to court right before she got on the trip. And it's not about the $1,000 and more about her going to the blogs to defame her family. Now, Sheree tells her that she wasn't aware of all of that. And
Well, honey, your family is already defamed thanks to your husband. I don't know why you think this $1,000 is going to do anything worse. First of all, I didn't even know about it. But what I do know about is that your man is for the streets. That's who's defaming your family.
well, what I thought was very interesting is that going into that. So Sheree does apologize to her. And then I love when Kenya comes in and says, well, it's 8 of us. What is 1,000 divided by 8? And Drew's like, really? She's like, it's not about the money. And Kenya's like, okay, but we're trying to make it go away. And she's like, but we already
No,
paid.
she said we can make it go away. Your lawyer just sucks, boo. We can make this
And
go
then
away.
I was with Kenya until she said that. Kenya,
What?
should not be advising anyone
On
on
the lawyer?
legal console when she is still in this divorce after 3
I
years.
mean, it's a different type of lawyer.
I'm just saying.
Different. That's a family lawyer.
I'm just saying. So, Sheree tells Drew that, you know, her energy was off at dinner and she wasn't being open. Sonya and Kenya basically walk away. And Drew admits that she felt away because a lot was going on. Well, Sonya returns to the table and says that that's the most vulnerable she's ever seen Drew. Marlo says she can pay the $1,000. Everybody's willing to pay this for Drew, so she'll get over this.
Just make it go away.
But Sonya reiterates it's bigger than just the money. And says there's a lot more that she can't talk about. So production asks Drew if there's something she's not sharing with the ladies. And Drew says when she went out of town last year, that's when the manager lady was hitting him up to give a massage. Okay. Now, she says that one of the producers on her video oiled Ralph down for his scene and then invited him to Vegas to try out for the show. And Drew said she isn't really trusting Ralph at this point. I guess you can't stop somebody from doing something, but that would be one of those situations where it'd be like, you can go to Vegas. You may come home and your locks may be changed. You might be on the lawn and
He's clearly a manipulator, clearly a gaslighter. Who knows what the hell he tells this woman to make her even stay as long as she did.
Even when she told the girls, when she first said it last episode, I said, because even they were like, that sounds weird. Like nobody dug deep into it, but everybody, I'm sure, was thinking like, that sounds, and we know he has a history. That why would you let him go? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm assuming that she told Sheree what was going on, because when they went back outside, Sheree said that she just really hopes that they get through it, and gave her a hug before they went back inside. So Sonya explained at the table that one thing she wants to see is, you know, since everyone's not getting along, is still have respect for one another when someone else is talking. And that's her 2 cents. And you say, girl,
you can put that 2
cents. We got a job for that 2 cents to put that.
Okay.
She said, what I'm not about to do is let Marlo talk and me respect what the hell she's saying. Okay, and show this lady some respect. That's what she was saying. Sheree brings up that her and Kenya was talking earlier, and she was in her feelings about Kandi being absent from them. Kandi said, you know, she has a lot of responsibilities right now, especially with her group, and sometimes opportunities come up that she just can't turn them down. Okay, and you know, she says right now she feels like she's still in the building stage. Everybody like, what? Not EGOT. EGOT?
Right.
In the what? The what stages?
Like, girl, it's been built. Let's break.
Look, that's exactly what they said. The empire has been built. Okay, from the outside looking in is what they said. Kandi said to her, it's easier to have never had than to have had and lose it. So, well, all right, Kandi. So Sheree asked her, how do you balance your family and friends, you know, basically get some me time? Kandi said she don't never get no me time. What the hell is that? She don't do that. Marlo tells her, you know, she needs to work on some self-care because she does work a lot. And Sheree told her, we're going to get you some me time this weekend. Or so you thought.
Yeah, so you thought. Poor baby. I really did feel bad for Kandi. Kandi is a really good friend, is all I'm going to say.
She is, especially with all the stuff she got going on. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, if my family and my kids is telling me, you don't spend enough time with me, my friends would never see me. If I already got to work and the only free time I got is to make my kids feel like I'm around, y'all would never see me. FaceTimes and
I think that's why a lot of people call for her to leave the show, because she is so busy and it, you know, and she's been on there for so long. And I love her on the show, but I mean,
you know, she also don't want to turn down a check. So
right.
Now, all the ladies met up in the hotel lobby, and Sheree basically gives them an itinerary for the day. Of course, Kenya is the only one not downstairs. She's in her room, taking forever as per usual. I feel like this is every single trip that they go on. She's literally the last one.
Yeah.
Kenya finally makes it downstairs in her slippers and must have missed the caution sign that said wet floor because she slipped and bust her ass. Drew wants to know where the healing is, and Sheree feels anything that could go wrong, it is definitely going wrong. This is not the trip she planned. Drew and Courtney were sitting down having a conversation, and she was explaining how unfortunate it was what happened to Kenya.
I did not like Courtney in this moment. I thought that was real evil.
It was evil. Courtney said the universe has a way of forcing things sometimes when it's necessary.
If I was Kenya, I would be scared Courtney at home with some type of dolls of me putting pins in them.
What's crazy is they didn't even have beef like that.
Right.
That was weird. Now, she says it's called karma and said we need to clear the negative energy out, and that's why these things happen. Courtney said this is the second trip she's been on where she's been rolled out on a stretcher. You said what?
It's giving real Wiccan like.
Candy said this is her last day in Portugal. First day she was sick, and now she's going with Kenny to the hospital.
And she's going to be there all day.
Yeah, poor baby.
Yep, I felt bad for Candy. I said, poor girl, can't win for losing. You do.
Like, damn, out of all people, Kenya, you got to tell Candy to go with you.
Right.
She only got this one last day. She like, right. Can't, and she said, Candy, I want you to come with me. Like, it's an honor to go to the hospital.
In a different country.
Fine.
Yeah, and Candy is a real good friend. Now, the ladies finally head out to the market. The weather is terrible. Apparently, it's the rainy season in Portugal. Courtney shares that her family lives 6 miles from where Isla Palm or Palm of Isles or something like that. That's where the Bolo trip happened. And
I don't know how this kept on coming up. The Bolo trip. I was confused by that. How Bolo kept on coming up.
I don't know.
It's like she wanted to invite Bolo on a trip or something. I was confused. It just kept on coming up.
So they go through the market, and as the chef shows them the different fish and veggies, Marlo asked, I thought this was cute, Marlo asked about catfish, and then and then it was funny because she, had a Marlo moment where she's acting like she's turning her nose up at catfish, and that is the dirtiest fish ever. And then they cut to the next scene where she's in confessional killing some catfish.
You know what's crazy? For somebody so damn bougie, she for damn sure don't eat like she bougie.
She right.
She wants sardines.
Maybe that's why her and Scotty, they got a little thing going. Because I'm sure he
Scotty seemed like he eat good. I mean, from what he served her. I ain't see him eating no sardines or catfish.
Well, okay. So they see a rabbit in the market.
And he's Jamaican. I don't see him eating none of that. Well, maybe the catfish. I don't know about the sardines.
Oh. So they see a rabbit in the market, and Marlo jokes that the rabbit has a BBL. And that basically Kenya needs to go see her, the rabbit's physician. Drew actually wants to know who the rabbit's doctor was because that rabbit had ass. Now, Yetta calls Candy, and she's been sitting in the waiting room for hours and no one speaks English. Marlo says that there is no way she'd be waiting with everyone else and says that this is when being worldwide is important. I said, well, damn. But Candy just blends in.
She said Candy kind of blends in.
Wherever she goes.
I said, damn.
Well, Yetta feels like someone should be there to help them expedite the process. And I completely agree.
So the ladies make it to the restaurant. It's raining, but I think it's still beautiful. And they want to try some green wine. So they all get excited about.
I'm so upset at this.
Me too.
Don't tell me I'm gonna have green wine and I get white wine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed too.
Because if it was me, that would be the only reason why I'm ordering it.
That was the only reason why she was ordering. Right. So they get all excited about Marlo gushing over Scott Lee because this is new for them. Now apparently the wine comes out. They're all excited to try this green wine, and it's not. It's white. He said they call it green wine because it's from Vino Verde in the north where everything is greener. And verde means green. So it's just because of where it's from, but it's actually white wine. And it's kind of sweet. So it's for damn sure some shit I would have sent back.
Right.
Now Marlo is showing pictures of her and Scott Lee from their first date. And of course, the bone collector spills the beans that Kenya said that it ain't real and it must be, you know, a Tinder.
He said it looked like a Tinder date.
Then Monyetta says, it's a little early to bring him around, everyone, but you know, I guess everybody does things differently.
I said, okay, so let's talk about it, right? I like that she is
I think Marlo handled herself.
No, I think she did. But this is to a point that J-Dub always makes. And as much as I like Monyetta's personality, I don't know if I like her on the show. I don't.
How do you know her personality outside of the show?
No, I mean when she's like a friend of the show and you see her and you know, like I liked her.
So you don't really get to know her, is what you're saying. You like her not knowing her.
Well, no, because one, I feel like she's
as a friend of the show, it's like real quick little
right, and I like thing. What I seen from that and like what I see from her on social media and stuff.
But now that you're actually getting to see who she
well, no, it's not really that. It's just that I feel like she's just on this platform, Real Housewives. I'm sure on some other show I would probably watch it and support it, but I don't know. It's starting to give a little bit of I'm gonna be here and not add much, but when I am, I'm gonna do too much. To you know, try to make a moment or be cute. And I don't know. I don't think for this on this platform, because she doesn't want to look like Sonya. That's what it is. She doesn't want to seem like a flip-flopper. She doesn't want to, and that's fine, but there's a reason why that works for Sonya, even though we hate to see it. Monyetta just wants to be the peaceful, and that's great. Just on this platform, I just don't think it works for her.
I don't think it's peaceful trying to start ish with Marlo. Wrong road. Now Sheree says that Marlo also knows Roy, and then Marlo says that she didn't like that Marlo was trying to take the shine away from Kenya by saying that they went on a date. I think Marlo handled this so well, because when I tell you that would have rubbed me the wrong way and made my skin crawl and made me jump out my skin. Okay. Marlo said that she wasn't trying to take her shine. She saw him on the phone and was shocked, like anyone would be. Okay. And it's like, oh, I knew him. I went on a date with him. And then also gets Ross involved. She's like, you're saying, you're like, no. Let's not bring up my man.
Well, and then Moyetta's like, but then you brought up the DMs. You went straight to the DMs.
Yes, she did. She said that, yeah, she brought up she was like, well, I don't think I would have brought up the DMs. And Sheree said, well, why is it okay for Kenya to do it with Martell? And Marlo can. And at least Marlo actually had real DMs. Kenya went to bring up something that was non-existent.
Well, there's that part.
And, you know, really, Sheree feels like Monyetta needs to pull her head out of Kandi and Kenya's ass. And I think, especially after this scene, I agree.
I concur.
Then, actually, speaking of the devil, Martell calls Sheree and tells her, you know, they usually are not this apart for this long without having sex. So make sure she thinks about him tonight.
I think that this is just my theory. I think that they definitely text each other every time they get ready to go film and say, hey, make sure you call me at this time.
I just don't want to hear about I'm having sex.
You don't think it's
Anyways.
wild and jungle-like? No.
Mm-mm. No, I understand they both work out and stuff like that. I don't know. They just still give me like auntie and uncle vibes still.
Mm.
I know they stay in the gym, they might be flexible and who knows? They just still, I don't know. I can't. I can't.
Can't unsee it.
Um,
Can't unsee
huh?
it. I said you can't unsee it.
Mm-mm. Apparently, the ladies are just loving Martell and Sheree together. Marlo said anyone with a pulse and an ankle bracelet is an upgrade from Tyrone. I can't say I
Without
disagree.
an ankle bracelet.
Yes, without an ankle bracelet is an upgrade from Tyrone. And I agree.
Yeah, y'all know that was a very unpopular opinion. I don't know what these girls are on signing up, but but Godspeed. Sheree then brings up Candy's comment when Drew got up from the table at dinner. Drew feels Candy misinterpreted, much like Sheree. And then Sheree's like, no, we're talking about what Candy said. So Sheree and
Let's
Sonya,
not bring up this old shit.
right? And then Sheree and Sonya both question why won't she address Candy? You scared or not? Sheree says that there is a fakeness going on, and asks what's going on between Drew and Marlo. Drew stated that they didn't have any issues till Marlo went off on her. And Marlo apologizes, and Drew tells her she wants her to be consistent. I said, if you just don't want to be your friend, just say you don't want to be your friend. But to get
Marlo looked like she wanted. Marlo looked like she wanted to say something, but she was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
right,
Leave it alone.
she been working with her coach. Now
Mm-hmm.
the chef brings out their food, and they even get a little hint of sunshine. I thought that was pretty cute. And after 7.5 hours, Candy and Kenya leave the hospital, and Kenya is grateful to be walking and not have any broken bones. The ladies get to their pottery making class, which looks cute. Sheree is hopeful the ladies are peaceful during this class around all this precious pottery. It could have gotten bad. The ladies are all quietly working on their pottery, and Marlo says she hopes that they can remain to get along once Candy and Kenya rejoin the group. So Marlo brings up how they usually all get along without the two of them. And Sheree brings up even Birmingham Moneta was back in full effect. So Moneta and Sonya fake an argument, which I was like, oh, okay. And then they say in scene, which was actually the cute part about it. Drew is not amused by this at all. She doesn't think it's funny. And it's like, oh, so we just gonna use Candy's punchlines. It's just what we're gonna do. She was real beside herself about that.
Sheree, after all the ladies had a good time, she invited them to her room for a slumber party. So Candy gets there and she's telling about the hospital horror and said, she felt like she was in something from The Walking Dead. It was a lot going on. Drew told Candy, well, since she's leaving, she wants to talk to her about the fact that the night prior, she had an emotional moment, and when she got up from the table, Candy said, "And scene." Candy said to her,
I love Candy was like, yeah, I said that.
Candy said to her, the argument wasn't that serious. And that was her first instinct. It was a joke. And Drew was like, well, damn, like I need to act or whatever. Like I get enough acting jobs. I think Candy was the
No,
one that
she
gave.
be out here acting on other stuff, but yes, but Candy just
Oh,
gave.
besides this show?
Yeah, I feel like she does I think you can find her on like BT Plus or what's the channel, the Tubi. Like I think she does like Tubi movies.
I've never seen her on Tubi.
Oh, you watch Tubi?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll be watching them ghetto ass movies. Yep, sure do. I ain't never seen Drew. Never.
Well, I was trying to give her something. I'll watch it. Dropped out of the comment shade squad. I know Drew got a job.
Where else have you seen Drew? It's giving Carmen Sandiego. Drew said, that there's a time for fun shade. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to have real conversations. And it's a time for her, and at that time it was time for her to be vulnerable. And that's hard for her. which she never does in front of the group. Drew said, did you ever consider I was really going through something, and the fact that we were building a real genuine friendship that really hurt coming from you? So Candy apologized and said, it was a joke and she definitely wasn't trying to drag her.
But she still felt she was dramatic as hell.
Absolutely. But like I said, once again, it's because I think it wasn't really about this lawsuit. And what it was really about, I think if she had said it, everybody could have understood where she was coming from and wouldn't have thought she was being dramatic. Your man's out cheating on you and you probably know it. And he's a sleazeball. And yeah, it is what it is. Everybody can understand. Okay.
Everybody pays the food.
Sometimes. Sheree asked Sonya how she's doing because she could tell that something was going on with her and Mommy Nation. Sheree is just out here getting everything on the table. She said, in the spirit of being authentic.
Right.
So lay it all out, okay? And she said that her and her sister was kind of going through it. And she ended up not even staying for the brunch. And, she gets emotional, says that her family dynamic is changing. And she's just trying to hold on to the old dynamic that they had. But she's just got to figure out a way to let that go. Candy asked Drew about Drop It with Drew.
Mm-hmm. And she said it's still going, but
yeah, she appreciates her asking about it. And
Marlo says she's even gonna pay for it, even though she don't work out.
Yeah, just to support. Now that's support.
Right, that is support.
That's support. Sheree said, while we're talking about support, I ain't see none of y'all names as customers on She by Sheree. Manetta said, well, I ain't seen your name on the book that I done came out with. Marlo said, I ain't see you as a customer in Law Archive. We got real quiet now, Sheree. We got real quiet.
Well,
and all the support, but you ain't supporting. Now, Sonya was asking her how to navigate her website. And
Sheree gets annoyed. Oh, that's so they don't
she
know.
Got agitated. Oh, she don't know how to navigate a website. Girl, not yours. It ain't just Sonya.
We had
like a bunch of people
too.
So Sonya tells her that it's their intention to support her. And then Sheree is just like, okay, but I got to keep on asking y'all. Like, I got to keep on mentioning my site. Girl, I would have, listen, I couldn't have been in that room because I'd have been like, yeah, because I got to keep on asking you. I just asked you about supporting me and you ain't say nothing. You hush. Right. You shush mouth.
Didn't she say she gave somebody, she spent what, 5,000 on Mommy Nation for Sonya?
Yeah, that's charity, boo. Thanks. You get back to the community. That ain't going in my pocket. But thank you. I mean, what? Because doesn't
you know what? I didn't think about it like that but now that you say that, that makes so much more sense. I thought she meant like she went into Belk and bought.
No, they all gave 5,000.
Yeah, no, and I forgot about that. So I was thinking she went and spent $5,000
on her like
her merch.
On her merch? No. No. It was at the event where everybody spent 5,000 to give back to the community. It was my event. Let's not get it twisted. Thank you. I appreciate it. But boo, you gave back to the community. You're asking me to put money in your pocket. After a few of the ladies placed some orders, the vibe definitely got better in the room. Sheree ain't pissed off no more. And I think they were trying to twerk, I think. Candy said it was giving auntie realness, and it really was. I don't know what the hell was going on there. I don't know if they wasn't trying to get move a hip out of place or what. I don't know what was going on, but it was
too bad.
It was real bad. It was so bad. So, an hour after production wrapped, the ladies are once again talking about the Bolo trip. And they have a back and forth with Drew about whether or not she kissed Latoya or she made out with Latoya.
And I thought that was already a known fact.
That's what I thought so too. Because even that night, I feel like they said it when it happened.
Right.
It was on camera when it happened.
Right.
Now, production is saying that Latoya said it at the reunion that they kissed and that she cheated on her husband with her.
I feel like they were borderline. I don't think they went the whole way, but they were.
Maybe she was just that messed up, or maybe she just really trying to deny it. So Drew says that Latoya told her that Candy told her to say that. What y'all not gonna do is keep on painting this narrative about Candy with
Right.
this whole dungeon stuff, with her making lies that people are kissing. Like, y'all are doing the most. I
Yeah.
would not be surprised if Candy would have knocked the out of you after seeing this. I'm trying to tell you, and especially coming from that whole dungeon situation.
Right.
Boo.
She don't play about
Uh-uh.
education.
And she says that Latoya apologized to her and all her family about all the lies she told. And of course, Candy gets upset because she's like, did you just say I lied?
Mm.
Like, you're not about to sit here in my face and tell
Okay,
me
no, let's set the
that
record straight on camera.
huh?
No, she's like, let's set the record straight.
She was like, you're not about to make me unsee what I saw. Marlo said you would lie dead before you lie. And Marlo told production that she 80% believes that she saw Drew kissing
Now
Latoya.
that was funny.
Right? And they said, well, Marlo, if you've seen it, what's the other 20%? Well, she's like, I mean, Drew is such a good
Good liar.
liar.
I'm starting to
I'm
believe
so
it.
confused. I don't know if I've seen it or not. I'm 80% sure I've seen it, but she's lying so well. I don't know what. Maybe the 20 outweighs the 80. I don't know. I know for dudes sometimes it do. Maybe in this situation it does.
Mm.
But I don't know. I know I saw the preview for the next episode, and she's supposed to be dating a whole woman, Mimi's ex. So Miss, I don't get down like that. It's looking like you get down like that.
And I think they finally come out and her and Ralph are finally announced their divorce, which I mean, I guess now we know what the lead up was to
I
the
wouldn't be mad if it was because of that. Because payback's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. I wouldn't be mad if it was because of that.
mm. Well, he trying to kick her out that house, which is
Oh,
crazy.
he mad.
Yeah, he mad, trying to kick her and the kid out the
Mm.
house.
Oh, I guess maybe he would have felt better if she took trips to the beach and, didn't answer her phone for days and just took off,
Yeah,
just
right.
maybe that would be better.
It's cool when they do it. It's problem we do it.
Period.
Right. So yeah, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to another review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you have not already, please make sure that you have hit that like button,
You comment
you subscribe,
and you hit the notification bell.
and make sure you're following us on all platforms, the TikTok, Twitter, the IG, and Facebook too. Yeah. And yeah, we appreciate y'all, and come back to see us, come around here yonder in a couple days, and we'll have another review for you. Howdy.
Couple days.
In a couple days. But no, thank you guys so much for your support. We love you, and we'll catch you for another review. Bye-bye.